This episode kicked major ass between Sabo, God Usopp. This episode was fucking stomping out. I was like, yes, yes, yes. When I can talk positive about the One Piece anime, I damn sure I'm gonna do that. And this episode, it was like, we got some good stuff going for it. So it takes off where the last one left off with Kidos basically beasting on Doflamingo, everybody flipping the fuck out. And I think they made that scene a little bit more like impactful in a sense of, and not the actual contact, but like the aftermath of it, where like Buffalo's like, and they're all getting crazy, and it kind of shows again the relationship that Doflamingo has with his crew, that he legitimately, even if he does some fucked up things and says, yo, you gotta sacrifice yourself for me, that's the code that they live by, and they legitimately do care for him regardless of what. So you can definitely see that they've had a very strong bond, the way they were reacting afterward. And just like, again, props to fucking Kidos, bro. Like, he even made Luffy like, hey, I wanted to kick his ass, so Kidos for the win again. And throughout this episode, I gotta say, there was just so much really, really, really good looking art. The art was just very detailed on so many different things. Like, even Rebecca just lying there crying and shit is like, first of all, they make her have like the body of a goddess, but above all else, they made just the art look really good in so many different scenes. It's like they put a lot of extra detail. They made the colors really pop out and stand out and look shiny. Now the animation, it was like, typical One Piece animation, not all that. But the art, at the very least, if you're gonna, do the animation very stiff and whatnot, make the art look pretty. And they made the art look very pretty with this week's episode. And it kind of showcased Sabo's personality as well with this week's episode, where he rescued Rebecca and he was like, yeah, no problem, I'm gonna save you. And when Bartolomeo was like, hey, what about me? He's like, bro, you gotta do your own thing. You a man. What are you doing? So that kind of showcases Sabo's character and what type of person he is. It's not that he's a bastard or anything like that, like fuck you, whatever, but you an adult, you can do your thing. This girl's a 16-year-old girl, I'm gonna save her. And his skill. Like, I'm getting it why he's, pretty much a part of the Revolutionary Army. It's like, holy motherfucking shit. You just see him going in and it's like dragon breath, destroying the arena, everything that he did in this episode, and then getting the Mera Mera no Mi. Like, I was, when this arc started in the manga, wondering, okay, who's gonna get it? Who would be good to get it? I would love for one of the Straw Hats to get it. Even at a certain point, I thought, well, maybe if Rebecca gets it, she'd be a cool addition to the team or whatever. But the way Sabo got it and everything, owning it, and just in a matter of a minute, he was already like, I got the power, and just fucking owning and shit. It was just epic. They did the Sabo scene very much so justice. Like, they shadowed him out a little bit. I was like, fuck, man, why didn't you just show, the full-on face or whatever? And I guess they just want to leave a little bit more of something impactful for the following episode when they give the big reveal or whatever. But just this episode, they did it justice with Sabo. Like, Sabo, everything that went down with Sabo was epic as fuck. And I was like, this is how you do a return. This is how you bring back someone from the grave. Well, obviously he wasn't dead. We found out what yada yada yada. But this is how you do the return and make it epic as fuck. Like, it kind of makes me wonder too, like, when they were little, of course, yeah, Sabo, obviously, he was a little bit older than Luffy, and he had probably a little bit more strength or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, they were kids, so there's not much that you can really say about their abilities, but Sabo looks like he's in a whole different league than Luffy. Like, I'll be honest with you, from what we've seen from Luffy thus far on Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, and now a little bit of Dressrosa, I don't know. I honestly think, like, Sabo is and Luffy is like something, because just the comparison, I mean, what Sabo did in this one, he was just annihilating and dominating, and now he has the Mera Mera no Mi. Come on, bro, like, yeah, Sabo's the truth. I'll be honest with you guys, while yet again Rebecca crying, same old shit, sick of it, whatever, I did feel a little bit, the way they did it, I don't know if it was the art or just the scenes with Kidos, and I guess since I like Kidos as a character and everything that he's been through, I respect it. Seeing Rebecca kind of getting the memories back of her father and saying, I have a father, actually got me. Like, I actually will say, with all the crying and everything and the complaining I do about the crying, that scene in particular, when she said that, and Bartolomeo was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That actually was a pretty good moment as well. So, the Rebecca crying scene, yeah. And then the last part of the episode, the last 6-7 minutes or so, God Usopp. They definitely stretched the shit out of it. I'm not going to deny that. They stretched the living shit out of it. It was kind of slow for a while, but ultimately, funny as shit. I mean, at the end of the day, God fucking Usopp. Like, he's pretty much like a Buggy, basically. He's just like what Buggy. Like, Buggy accidentally or, basically connives his way into making people think that he's epic. And Usopp did the same thing, except it was kind of like a happy accident in a way. And it's just like funny as shit. And at the same time, it's like, this is giving interesting power to somebody like Usopp nonetheless, where everybody's going to respect him and everything, and the way it was going down. And now obviously it's a little bit hard to follow for us because of the jokes. It's like, basically, in other words, he was just, because some people might be confused about like, wait, I don't get the joke. It was, since he was saying it so slowly, people were misunderstanding his words. While he was saying like, bastard, put me down, I'm in pain, they were taking it as he's saying like, I will guide you and shit like that. And that was just funny as fuck. And again, it was slow towards the end with the God Usopp stuff, but still funny nonetheless, and very interesting turn of events at the very least to say regarding Usopp getting this power. And again, this is just on the road to his 8,000 followers. And with all that being said, this was a kick-ass fucking episode. Again, it had its little pacing issues and the animation wasn't the best or whatever. The art looked great, however, but ultimately just the Sabo scene was epic. God Usopp fucking hilarious. Even the Rebecca stuff with Keto's pretty emotional stuff. So yeah, this episode 8.5 to a 9. I think it really deserves it, to be honest with you. It's just like, this is the One Piece anime. When it does good, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna tell you, it did good. And my friends, it did good. Let me know what you thought of the episode. What do you think about the Sabo scene? Were you impressed? I will say I think Toei did that scene justice. The God Usopp stuff, a little bit dragged out. Likewise with a couple extra scenes here or there. It's kind of like, slow, whatever. Typical One Piece stuff, but the art looked good. Animation, But yeah, nonetheless, still fucking awesome episode of One Piece. Like 8.5 to a 9 for this bad boy. Your overall thoughts, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.